What made Ty Law so good that game?
I love him. Some people think he's, a little brash, which he is, but you got to have that to play corner. Well, I'm Ty Law. What the
Now, Coach, when you remember scouting this team, what were like the three things that you thought?
They were like all Dan Henning coach teams, a tough running the ball.
Was that Magazoo? Coach Magazoo?
It was Dan being the offensive
Coach Mag. See, I grew up with Magazoo's son.
Okay.
Or not grew up. We went to college together. And I remember watching these teams, but
they were tough. I mean, they got two backs. They ran the wham. They run. It's a physical downhill running team. Those receivers were really good. So you got explosive passing game defense. Really turned around, getting Peppers and Jenkins up front. I mean, that was a team speed, hard, physical. Really, I mean, I love playing against them because that's in a lot of ways the kind of team we were trying to be.
Yeah.
So it's two, not identical, but similar teams.
Well, what do you think of John Fox as a head coach?
He was great there. Like I said, he took over a team that was 1-15, and they were a bad 1-15.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't like we had 6 games that were close. I mean, that was a bad team, and because John is he's very upbeat, positive. Get guys going, get them playing with enthusiasm, and did listen. This was After 2 years, I mean, that's as good a turnaround as you can get.
Yeah. Do you remember Dan Morgan on this team?
Yes, I do. I mean, he was, really good, one of the great players in all those Miami teams, Miami Hurricanes, a little easier. I mean, he's playing middle linebacker behind a really good defensive line. Very productive. Made a lot of plays. He's very athletic. Could run.
Yeah, he's their GM now.
Yep.
What do you think about players joining the front office?
Listen, that's great because they have the player's perspective. Okay, so that part of it is terrific. When they get to be a GM, they've got to be able to put, you can't just show up. Hey, I played. I could be the GM. I mean, all these guys you're talking about signing, are you really going to go study the tape, not rely on what somebody else tells you they saw on the tape? You got to see the tape for yourself so you actually know what you're talking about. But as long as somebody's really, put in the work, be smart, try to learn every day, great.
Yeah. What made Julius Peppers?
Phenomenal athlete. Look, I mean, you're talking about, football player, basketball. I mean, that's what, great athlete.
So you think he's like a basketball player that played football?
No, he's a great athlete who could play both basketball and football. I mean, he's a football player when he's on the football field. He's a basketball player when he's on the basketball field. But there are so many. Obviously, he was the first pick in the draft. Not many Julius Peppers, but so many of the players we talked with who were, tell me about your high school career. I was all state in 3 sports. I mean, I really like. I think it's terrible what's going on with so many young kids, 14 years old, specializing in one sport.
Yeah.
I am totally against that. I mean, hey, just be an athlete. Go out and play all the different games. Don't.
What does a multi-sport athlete tell you as a talent evaluator?
It's just number one. This guy. He's competitive. He's good at what he does. Athletic skill. He can do a lot of different things. I mean, if you're think you're going to be 14 years old, just specialize in one thing, and all your hours of specialization are going to get you a college scholarship. Well, actually, the kid who's the real good athlete and shows up, and after 3 plays, the college coach knows, hey, that's the guy I want.
Yeah.
I'm now a little different. You get to be 18 years old. You're a high school baseball player. You're kind of like, okay, you may go in the first round of the baseball draft. When you get up, later teen years, there is some specializations going to kick in. But for the young kid, I absolutely hate 13-year-olds, they do nothing 365 days a year but play one sport.
I know.
Because by the time they're 16, they may be so sick of it.
Burned out.
I don't ever want to do this again.
I was like one of the last 3-sport athletes, like in my community. And then it started changing into this specialized.
Right, yeah, and a lot of it's because parents and all,
There's a lot of money now, Coach.
There's a lot of money, but I'll say it again. The guys who, hey, look, you can go out, you see 100 kids, and you see them running around playing games. You can usually pick out, hey, that's the guy right there. I don't care what the game is, that's my guy right there. And that's, inevitably. Now, also understanding the kids develop in high school. You may be 14 years old, you might be 5'7", and you may be graduating from high school, you're 6'4". So kids develop at different speeds. Yeah. But don't try to stuff them in the a little box when they're too young. I'm on up on my soapbox on that, but I really feel strongly about that.
I get it.
So Julius Peppers, he's a great athlete. He played. We
call him a freak, and that's a freak of an athlete.
Right. Freak. Hey, there aren't very many of them, but when you see one, yeah.
That's exactly how you define a freak on Dudes on Dudes. Steve Smith Sr. told us that he almost became a Patriot. Do you remember that?
I know we were really, I'm not sure exactly what he was, but we were really interested in him.
Yeah.
We thought he was terrific. We would love to have had him. And, sometimes he's just like, later in his career, when Julius Peppers was a free agent, and I can't even tell you what year this was, Bill was right. Hey, we should really think about signing this guy. Unfortunately, we didn't.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. Let's jump into the Patriots, Jack. Let's go.
Let's get into these 14-2 Patriots.
14-2.
Fourth year under Bill Belichick. Charlie White's leading the offense. Romeo Crennel leading the defense. Coming off a 9-7 year where they missed the playoffs. The season before, won the Super Bowl, of course. Beat the greatest show on turf. Released Lawyer Malloy 5 days prior to the season. That was a big early storyline. Dropped week 1 to Buffalo, coincidentally. Signed Rodney in the offseason.
31-0.
31-0. Man.
Well, and by the way, just let me know, the last game of the regular season, we beat Buffalo 31-0. Just saying.
Full circle.
The game, so we lost to them. It ended up with us down on the goal line. The last game ended up with them down the goal line. Larry Izzo made the big play to preserve the shutout, and there we go.
Oh, Izzo. How'd the locker room take that?
Some guys were a little shocked.
Yeah.
But it was. It's the unfortunate, in a lot of ways. Unfortunate, some business decisions that get
brought in Rodney Harrison.
Brought in Rodney, who, I was a huge advocate for signing Rodney. He came in, and I remember I had a friend who was out at the Chargers say, "How's Rodney doing for you?" And I was honest with him. I said, "He's the best safety in football." So, yeah, he's doing pretty well for us.
And speaking of Rodney, we got to shout out this defense. Gave up a league low 14.9 points per game.
This was a butt-kicking defense.
Why?
Well, just look, we're a 34 front. I got Mike Vrabel and William McGinnis on the edge. We got Ted Washington, Richard Seymour, and Bobby Hamilton on the front. You got, inside backers, you got Ted Johnson, Roman Pfeiffer, Teddy Bruschi. You got Ty Law out of corner, Rodney Harrison at strong safety. This is, look at them. This bunch means business.
Oh, yeah.
Physical, dominating, and we had real complementary skills. For instance, if we're in a 34, Eugene Wilson was basically a corner type player who we put at weak safety. So if you were in like these guys did a lot, regular people, so you had 2 backs and a tight end. Rodney Harrison was on your tight end, and Eugene Wilson's back at weak safety. If they came in with 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers, well, Gino went up and covered the slot receiver man-to-man, and Rodney dropped back to weak safety. So we could handle, we had players,
a lot of flexibility.
And then we had, what we loved was Ty, and we played cover 2. Rodney go out corner, and Ty would be at safety. Now you talk about corner forcing the run. Well, it's one thing if it's a corner; it's another thing if it's Rodney Harrison out there. Yeah. So it was just a physical, dominating group.
Now, what was the difference between these generation Pats and the generation Pats that I played?
We were probably, okay, the biggest one was offensively, we were good, but we put the rocket fuel in our offense when we got Randy Moss and Wes Welker. That 2007, we were a good offensive team. We became, in 2007, we went on for about 12 years, realistically, the best offensive football. Okay, we weren't quite there on offense at that stage. It's also, this is Tom playing his third season as a starting quarterback versus his 15th year as a starting quarterback. I mean, that really makes a
lot of difference.
It makes a lot of difference. So defensively, our 03 and 04 teams were the best defenses we had. I mean, these were the guys, they're just going to go out, they're going to kick everybody's ass, shut them down, and they were a dominant group.
Yeah. I just don't understand how you guys didn't make the playoffs the year before, and then you guys.
So there were a lot, number one, we didn't really, you can talk to a team about what it takes to repeat as Super Bowl champs. It doesn't mean you're going to necessarily get it done. The team that wins the Super Bowl, their season is a month longer than everybody's else, so their off season, it's just, it's almost like you don't have an off season.
Yeah.
But if you're not, before you know, hey, it's ready to go for training camp. Are you really as sharp as you were last year?
Are you healthy?
Are you healthy? Right. It's your recovery time is shorter. So that, I mean, the difference between winning and losing is so small. We were, just didn't quite have our edge.
Yeah.
So
it's tough.
Yeah.
And it was you guys were, still younger on the offensive side of the ball.
Right. This was they
didn't know how to handle success, maybe?
They're definitely part of it. And, as a franchise and a team, I mean, we evolved as we went. I mean, the team, even as coaches, I mean, we had a much better sense, after, what we needed to do after we won a championship, as far as getting a team ready for the next year.
That's why it was so impressive last year with the Chiefs. I mean, to get to the Super Bowl after going back to back. Like, I thought that was Patrick Mahomes' most impressive year. Everyone says he had a down year. He had no receivers. The line was band taped together, and he was still winning football games.
Right. You watch that Super Bowl, and those defensive ends are meeting at the quarterback.
That wasn't even close.
Well, I mean, they got crushed.
Yeah.
I mean, that was not. They were not competitive
with four guys.
Yeah.
And then you just put everyone in the back. It's tough.
But that's so the Chiefs have lost. They've lost 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, and the common factor is in both of them, their offensive line was just was hurt, beat up, and
which people don't understand. That's understandable going into your 3rd Super Bowl in a year, or 3rd in a row Super Bowl. Like Ernie just said, I mean, you have shorter off seasons. It's harder to keep the guys motivated. That's a lot to get to a 3rd Super Bowl. I think that was insane.
I mean, that's one thing. I remember listening, when the Chiefs, I listened to the TV people. I think the Chiefs won their first 2, and they're talking, well, they can go win 3 or 4, and it is so incredibly hard to win 1.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably hard. I mean, you've got to go out and beat the best teams, and
a lot of it is just like when you sustain success for a long time. Like our best teams on my generation, we didn't even win. Like we got unhealthy at the wrong times.
Well, like we were
in 15, we started out hot.
Over the course of our team, really, I went into every game thinking we're going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I was never thought. I never went into games thinking we're in trouble, except for the AFC Championship game in 2015. I walking off that field, we were so. I said, "Oh Lord." We are so,
didn't have Nate Solder. We were really banged up at tackle. We had,
I mean, it was we were. It was like the walking wounded, and we got to go out. We got to go out and play in Denver. I mean, it's just I really thought we're probably in trouble here.
That's when we had to put the double Denver in because Von Miller was in the backfield before we even. What the fuck is that? Holy shit!
Yeah.
I didn't get off the line of scrimmage. I see Von Miller on Tom.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, though, hey. If football, it's a nasty game and stuff like that does happen.
It does happen. Jackie, let's jump into the game. Lead up.
Let's get into the lead up of this game. The Panthers responded from a late 3-game skid, win their last 3, win the NFC South. Notably, go into Philly, pick off Donovan McNabb 3 times, Ricky Manning alone. That was a Ricky Manning 3-interception game.
Rookie.
Over in the AFC, Patriots, of course, were on their win streak, won the AFC East, win the AFC number 1 seed. Go. Peyton Manning comes into Foxborough. We got the tie law game. I fought the law and the law won. 3 interceptions. Pick off Peyton Manning 4 times. Win that one 24-14. Just one of the all-time tie law defensive performances.
Was that an all-time performance by the defense in a championship game?
Yes, but
Against the Colts?
Yeah, it was. But truly, it's the way we played defense all year.
Yeah.
I mean, this was. We were really good on defense.
What made Ty Law so good that game?
Ty is a wonderful personality for a defensive back. Loud. I love him. Some people think he's a little brash, which he is. But you got to have that to play corner. Well, I'm Ty Law. What the fuck?
Shot o'clock.
Get out here. Yeah, and this is what I mean. You need that on defense. Is not those quiet, studious types. That just doesn't work.
No, you need your corner. If you have an all-time corner, they need to say their name in the third person, and that's like Dion used to do it. I mean, all the greats use their name in third person.
Island, got to.
Revis. Now, before this game, what was the thing to the team? What did we have to do to win? We just had to stop the run game, not turn the ball over.
Stop the run, yeah.
Score in the red area and convert third downs.
Stop the run, contain their wide receivers.
Which was tough because they ran so well. And then you get great matchup one-on-ones on the outside.
85-yard touchdown.
This is, like I said, people always say, well, nobody wants to play this team in the playoffs. Nobody wants to play that team in the playoffs. I mean, this is crazy. If you actually want to win the playoffs, you're going to have to beat the best teams. So bring them on and let's go. If we're afraid of playing the best teams, we're not going to get there anyway. There's no secret number you can call up. Would you send me a bad team for the Super Bowl? It doesn't happen.
So that was the storylines going into this game, that this was a red-hot freaking Panthers team that was not beatable.
Well, I mean, hey, they were red-hot. We were red-hot. You get to that game, for the most part, everybody's beatable. It's 60 minutes to play for a championship. Who's better in that 60 minutes? It's like Bill would. I know you heard this as a player, but say, fellas, I don't need it in the middle of February. I need your best right now. It's everything. I need everything you got right now.
Right now.
And that was, if you remember, I'm going to jump ahead about a decade. When we went over, getting ready to go play the Falcons in the Super Bowl, we had the meeting, and then we walked right out of the meeting, went on the bus, and go play the game. And Bill said, I want every person in this room to know I picked you to be on this team to win games like this. I know you're going to show up. You're going to give me everything you got. And hey, look, we're going to play the best football we can. If the other team is better, we lose. We understand that completely. But we're going to show up and give it our best, when it counts.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's good enough.
That's all you can do.
That's it, right?
How about this lineup for the coin toss? You had Y.A. Tittle, Earl Campbell, Dom Maynard, Gene Upshaw, Mike Singletary, Ollie Matson.
I just watched. I watched the full. I think it's the first time I actually watched the full TV broadcast.
Okay.
And I saw these. So I saw. I remember Y.A. now being 10 years old, watching Y.A. Till throw 5 touchdown passes every week for the New York Giants. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that your favorite football player?
Yeah, he was so, I mean, he was one of them, but he was.
Any funny YA tittles?
He came out, so that was in the early 60s, and then about 1979, my first year coaching at the Giants, Wyatt Tittle comes out to practice.
Yeah.
And we're watching him. He was so smooth. I mean, 50-some years old. He was so smooth, throwing the ball.
He's still throwing at 57?
Yeah, not driving an 18-yard comebacks, but you could just see the throwing motion. Ooh, that guy was good. It's like, we played down in Jacksonville the last game in 2012, and Kenny Anderson was their quarterback coach, who might have had his quarterback mechanics were as good as anybody's. And he's out there warming up with the receiver, just watching the game. And I told that corpse, hey, watch that guy. Now that guy can throw it.
Heck yeah.
Give us this game breakdown, Jackie.
So the first quarter, we alluded to this a little bit earlier. Defense shined, led the way. 21 offensive plays for Carolina, -7 yards total. Scoreless first quarter. Adam Vinatieri notably misses a 31-yard field goal on the Patriots' first offensive drive. We get to the second quarter, misses another one, 38-yarder blocked. Then we fast forward a little bit. The Vrabel strip sack leads to a touchdown, and that's kind of when the floodgates start opening. 24 points scored in the last 3 minutes of the half. You got Brady to Branch. Jake finds Steve on a 39-yarder, and then Brady to Givens. Then Carolina finishes the half with a field goal. So it's 14-10 after a scoreless first, taking us into the half.
Now, what do you think it was about the scoreless first? Just the Super Bowl noise and getting used to each other? Both?
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, we got down there, we missed a field goal. It was kind of like, we had it bottled up and then just, it exploded.
Kind of like each team's putting their things to see what teams are going to do to their thing, and then you make the adjustments off the adjustments.
Yeah, I mean,
feeling it out, but you shouldn't be, but you kind of are.
Yeah,
it's because you have 2 weeks to prepare for this thing.
Right,
people don't realize that.
Yeah, and listen, you have your brilliant game plan. They got their brilliant game plan, and we put them together, and you don't really know how it's you don't know how it's going to work. And sometimes you get in these games. I know one of the my fun things I did was I always did when we would go in the playoffs, did a little video, and I called it "One Play Can Make a Season." And a lot of times it's one play in there, like one guy getting his hand up an extra 6 inches to block the field goal. It's somebody doing the little detail that can really turn things around. And it's like, you've heard this 100 times from Bill. Fellas, it'd be easy if I could tell you before a play, this is the play that's going to decide the game. Well, I know if I said that, you would absolutely give me 100% on that play, but it doesn't work that way. You never know when that play is going to be. That's when you got to give 100% every play.
Now, what was the play in this game?
I mean, it might, listen, the ones... It's Vrabes getting the strip sack. It's like a great job executing a read game when he's coming with that little detail.
What's a read game?
A read game is when the outside linebacker's coming off the edge with the defensive end, and the line may fan out to you, or they may not. If they fan out to you, then Vrabes comes underneath. And he comes wide open, which is what happened here. But it's just doing that, the right stunt at the right time, and boom, there's a big play. There's a couple other plays in there just before we went down. We went down the touchdown there where we went ahead just to see Tom in the pocket. And he never got enough credit for being able just to slide away from a guy and make the throw. I mean, there's like classic shots of him just moving,
just a little,
just enough. Just enough so I can make a good throw. I mean, it's in these big games. I mean, it's people doing the right things at the right time, and so if you don't execute the read game right, there's no do-overs.
Yeah,
I mean, it's right. It's now or never.
So we go in at halftime. What's the halftime mantra?
Those Super Bowl halftimes are so long. It's just really everybody, don't get all hyped up here. Take your time. We'll just go play our game. There was no, really, regardless of the game, I mean, I would say our halftimes are fairly calm and organized.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no bedlam in the locker room.
Was there anything that you remember, like Charlie Weiss saying that they had to do to the offense to get this thing to break out to, scoring?
It's always, hey, just, we're doing, I mean, at this stage of the game, we've been playing football for 6 months. We got to, we've got our offense. We got to just go out and execute it.
Yeah. Now, what did the Panthers do to change on offense to get some points?
Well, see, the problem, where we got it, particularly at the end there, I was talking about our defense with the safeties. They're both hurting out of the game. We're playing. So they got Steven Smith and Musa Muhammad. We got Meyer and Akins there as a special teams guy playing safety. We're kind of we got a little problem here.
Yeah.
So I mean, and of course we end up with the game. They score to tie it up and kick it out of bounds. So we get the ball in the 40.
Now, is that the play?
That was huge.
Is that the play? If Coach Belichick was in front of that kicker and he said, "This is the play that could decide the game."
Hey, listen.
Do you think he would have kicked it out of bounds?
Probably. I hope. Well, I don't know. I don't know for sure what he was trying to do, but I know it was a bad kick.
No.
And by a good kicker. But there's no do-overs. We get the ball in the 40, and we got Vinatieri over there, so we go make enough. Yeah, and we got we got to overcome a 1st and 20. Troy got called for offensive pass interference. So first we overcome it. Tom makes a couple big throw to Dion, and Vinatieri we missed too early, but when it counted, he put it right through the middle.
Now, did you guys had full confidence in Adam at that point?
Totally. Yeah.
Now,
listen, it's he missed it. He's our guy. We want to get him in position, to win the game. It's like, that last drive of Super Bowl 36 against the Rams. We got to get Adam a chance to win it for us in regulation. Of course, it was pretty good. I had up on, we had the TV monitor to look at for replays, and I happened to see on the TV replay, like Adam Vinatieri's 47 out of 47, kicking inside. Yeah, it'd be a good idea to give him a chance. Just reinforce this, yeah.
Now, can you walk us through the game-winning drive, beat for beat? Like, what's the mindset of the coaching staff when you see balls in the 40? All right. How do we approach this?
Okay, we know we need 20. We need 25 yards. We need 25 yards to have a realistic chance to kick a field goal, because you're not going to try a 62-yarder that if you don't think you can make it and give them the ball where they complete one pass and they go for the winning field goal. So we got to be smart, but
last shot mentality,
and this is what we do. We have confidence in ourselves. Let's go play.
Now, what's the difference between Brady in his first Super Bowl game-winning drive and then this Brady in the game-winning drive?
He'd done it before. So, I mean, it was like, hey, we've been there, done that. Kind of. I mean, that's where.
Were your guys' confidence through the roof on this? Like, you guys were winning the game after that?
No, I mean, I think we all thought, hey, we got a really good team. We know what we're doing. Let's go. I mean, it's not. We tried to tone it down. Trash talk. It's just we're not going to win games talking.
Yeah,
that's never. And that was something that was totally consistent throughout the whole our whole time with the Patriots. Just go out and play.
Walk us through that final drive.
Okay, so we get the we start with the 40, and now I remember we catch the ball and we make a completion. Troy Brown catches the 1st and 20. We did a couple of times in this game. Got the quarterback moving. Hit the big pass down there to Dion. We're positioned to kick it.
Yeah, and then it's like that.
Yeah, I mean it's like we've been practicing this for 6 months. We got to do it right now. Tomorrow's not going to do any good.
Had to overcome something too. A 1st and 20. That's not easy to freaking overcome.
No, totally. You're right. And this is where, even though we weren't the same. We weren't the offense here that we were 4 years later. But when we had a 1st and 20, we went and picked it up. The other thing we did in this game was, we just took it and ran it right at them pretty effectively. So, I mean, it was, we controlled the tempo of the game. I mean, we get down there, we miss 2 field goals. I mean, those were huge. But I mean, we were controlling the tempo of the game. But they had big time explosive players. So,
who were you next to when Adam was lining up to kick?
Yeah, boy, that's
the game winner.
Usually because I always had in the coaching box, because I had to look at the monitor to tell Bill if we were going to challenge a play or not. So I always sat wherever the monitor was in the booth, and sometimes up in a corner, sometimes in the middle. So I don't remember exactly who was sitting where. And sometimes if the monitor was up high, like attached to the ceiling, I stood up. Yeah. I always put myself wherever I could see the monitor best. So I don't honestly remember. Usually my man Scott Pioli was right there.
Oh, Pioli.
Our main man. Friend of the show.
How long does it take for you to get down after the kick?
The total chaos at the Super Bowl starts like... So in this one, I think we just got, actually the elevator was right outside our door, so it was down pretty quick. We played Super Bowl 46 where we lost to the Giants. They weren't bringing the elevator up to the top level. So not only do we lose the damn Super Bowl, we had to walk down the stairs with the fans from the top of the stadium to the bottom.
That's the walk of shame.
Oh, that's the walk of shame, boy. You got it. And then, it's the whole, it's just chaos out there.
Did anyone know you? Ernie? Anyone shout you out?
No, they didn't know me. Hell, the security, like we won. I think we beat the Seahawks. You come down, they got the podium up there is all roped off. I mean, they weren't going to let me in, under the rope line. I said, buddy, I'm a coach, I mean, it's
mayhem.
And that's what, Bill was really, he said, I remember the meetings before the games. He said, look, if it's a tight game, 30 seconds to go, all these goddamn, excuse my English, photographers are going to want to get on the field. They're going to be crowding and pushing. They're ready to go. And that's when, we had people assigned, the strength coaches. Your job is to keep those people out of our bench because they're, it's mayhem.
Man, like, can we talk about lastly before we move on and we grade the game? Why is Mike Vrabel such a great red area target?
Oh, well, number one, this was a goal line pass. So it wasn't like we didn't spread out and we to run some fancy route. I mean, it's like 136. I mean, a crosser.
It was still a crosser.
A crosser on the goal.
Traffic.
But they got they got to play goal line defense. They got to fight through picks. I mean, it was he made a really nice catch and we scored. I mean, but what those goal line passes, it's everybody packed in. You got people going one way or the other. He came wide open, and game on the big play. He caught the ball.
Yeah. Caught the ball. That was at his play.
That was, and it was, but that's I mean, Mike, like pre-game, he's out there running around catching balls. So that you talk about who just as a player, a guy who just liked to play ball. Mike Vrabel liked to play ball as a and that's why he was he's so good.
Where did the idea to actually use him on offense come from?
Because in the NFL you can only your roster on game day 46. Is limited. I mean, you don't have. It's not like college where you can dress 6 tight ends. So we got Vrabel playing tight end. We got Richard Seymour playing fullback. I mean, you just get into. You want your big guys in the game on the goal line. If a defensive lineman can play fullback for you, that's huge because you may not. Sooner or later, you have to get. It's like people playing offensive lineman at tight end. It's you run out of people.
Roster size is so much smaller that it's such a. It can determine how you carry your roster for that game if Mike can cover 2 spots.
Oh, listen.
But even throwing to the guy and he's a defensive end, throwing to him in the Super Bowl.
But you know what? You can't if he's in the game and they call 136 all cross. He's the X. He's open. You're gonna throw him the ball. I mean, it's not like, oh, he's a deep, you don't have time to process. He's in the game. He's there throwing the ball.
Yeah.
You can't be worried about shit. It becomes a problem when you get the quarterback. I got this route over here. I don't think that guy's going to catch it, even though he's open. I'll go someplace else. That's when the whole thing can start to break down. I mean, it can be you get a few guys hurt. I mean, it can, there's problems that as you know, that can come up on stuff like that.
A lot.
The
aftermath of this, the franchise wins their second Super Bowl. Tom Brady wins MVP, his second of his 5. Carolina had a Super Bowl slump the very next year, going 7-9. New England would go and repeat and then draft Vince Wilfork, Ben Watson in that next year's draft, which turned out to be 2 really good football players for the organization. New England would go back-to-back. Carolina would return to the NFC title, failing to Chicago. And then New England would take their win streak from week 8 of 2004 to 21 straight games, including the playoffs, which would be a record.
I thought we went into Pittsburgh and got our butts kicked and
Tyler
put the
broke
ball
his
on the
foot.
ground. Yeah. But that's a...
And we got to wrap up with the final score here, 32-29. Patriots beat the Panthers, just to put a bow on that thing.